What is going on with Knight Silksong? If you're unaware, this game has been sort of cryptic and mysterious about when it's going to release. We have a video on this channel where we just sort of asked, where is Silksong? And nobody knows, but recently it showed up on the Xbox store, and the unfortunate timing of when it landed, I think, is worth discussing. It also has a rating, which we need to look at. Is that even real? And I have a theory on what is going on and why this landed at the time that it did and on the storefront that it did. So just to give you a very, very quick recap of what happened. So essentially, this game just suddenly showed up on the Xbox store to be wishlisted. Now, it was on April 1st, but the developer's in a different time zone. So some people were saying it was actually April the 2nd. And so this obviously gets everybody buzzing. Anytime there's ever been a showcase, like if Nintendo does a showcase or there's an indie showcase, they throw Silksong on there and they bait everybody, and then Silksong doesn't show up. Also, in relation to Xbox, it actually was at the showcase in 2021, the infamous showcase where they said everything you saw in this showcase is coming out in the next 12 months, and it turned out to not be true. Roughly more than half of the games on their own list didn't show up, and then a game like Silksong was included. I think Xbox sort of spoke out of turn. 2022 was sort of known as the year, was a big drought for Xbox, and a lot of things just didn't land and got delayed, and then they kind of turned things around with a better cadence in 2023, but Silksong was in that showcase. And so now we're seeing again, all of a sudden it's showing up on the Xbox storefront to be wishlisted. Now, that's what happened. Now, many people are asking, why did they do this on April the 1st? Now, again, I could kind of give you a theory that they did this because I think they maybe like messing with people. There's sort of a mystique and sort of a mysterious nature to this game now, and so it's causing everybody to sort of theorize or doubt. Like they don't believe the game is real. They don't believe that it's ever coming. So if you want to know why I think this happened on April 1st, I would not be surprised if they thought this would be sort of cheeky and sort of funny. The other thing that's interesting is when you go to the actual landing page, you can go right now on your Xbox or the Xbox store in a browser, and you can search for Silksong, Knight Silksong. You can find the game. You can add it to your wish list. It will let you do it. This isn't like a glitch in the Matrix or something that they did and then took down to troll people. But the interesting thing is it has an ESRB rating. Now, it's rated E for everyone, and it's rated for like cartoon violence and something else. But it's the exact same phrasing for Hollow Knight. So again, I personally think what they probably did is they just copied the ESRB rating for Hollow Knight. This game has not been rated. When a game gets its ESRB rating, that typically is pretty big headlines, because what that means is a playable state of the game exists somewhere so that they can sort of see the game in its totality and then give it a rating. And we looked at some timing of this recently when certain games are getting rated, and historically it's somewhere between like 60 and 88 days or something weird like that when a game gets its rating to when it typically comes out. What that means is they're sort of on the final run. They have a playable version of the game, and then the press starts getting copies and things of that nature. So when Silksong finally gets a rating, it will likely make headlines. You will likely see videos, shorts, tweets, articles that Knight Silksong is close at hand. Finally, we have a rating. And I think that that's probably why it's on Xbox without a rating, is they just sort of wanted to put it there and then have the previous rating of the previous game. It's not like an official ESRB thing yet, which is interesting. I wonder if the ESRB is going to say, hey, you're claiming that we've rated that game and we have not. Now, the other question would be, why now? Why specifically at this time would it just suddenly show up on Xbox? What's really interesting is you can go right now on Steam, you can go on the PlayStation Store, and you can look up Knight Silksong, and you can wishlist it. You've been able to do that for a very long time. So why would it suddenly show up on the Xbox storefront, okay, since the other listings have been available for a while? Again, this is my theory. I think right now we're about 2 months away from June, and we know June is the month where there's a big Xbox showcase. We know there's the Summer Game Fest. So what I think we're looking at is Team Cherry and Xbox are working together and navigating being in the showcase again. Since they already were in the showcase before, there's potentially a marketing contract between Xbox and Knight Silksong. This trailer that I'm showing you right here is on the official Xbox channel. It's got 2.5 million views, and it's a year old. So this is potentially the outworking of that contract that, like, hey, we've been working together all this time. We kind of signed the deal. We want to be the ones to promote it. Now, that might mean it shows up on Game Pass. Maybe not. But it was a part of the Xbox and Bethesda showcase. And that is, I think, part of why so many people are thinking, hey, this is it. We're finally going to get to see and play Silksong. And then, obviously it didn't happen. So my theory is that right now Xbox is planning their showcase and they're working with Hollow Knight Silksong to be a part of the showcase. Now, what this means is, I would say we're looking at then a release date announcement, which would be very exciting that we would finally get a release date. So that means I could see this game actually landing in the second half of 2024. Now, everybody is going to be very hesitant to buy in to any speculation or rumors or leaks about a Hollow Knight Silksong release date because this game just sort of seems shrouded in mystery. No one's really clued in as to when we might see it. And the most recent update that we got, and the end of that trailer actually says play it day one on Game Pass. So this will be a Game Pass game. I wasn't sure if that was something. So that right there really cements my belief that there is a marketing contract between Team Cherry and Xbox, which means it suddenly showed up in the Xbox store because they're getting ready to ramp up and finally come out and show the probably hopefully a lengthy gameplay trailer as well as a release date announcement, because this trailer actually does have quite a bit of gameplay in it. If you're a fan of the first Hollow Knight, you will notice that this character is from the first game, but that the movement and the style of traversal as well as the style of the combat is quite a bit different. A little bit faster and a little bit more acrobatic, which I welcome. I'm very excited to play this game. Hollow Knight has inspired a whole host of games you may have seen trailers for recently that look very, very similar to the art style and the vibe of this game, but we want to play the real deal, right? We want to play the real game. You even saw heavy influences from Hollow Knight in the second Ori and the Blind Forest game, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Borrowed a lot of the mechanics and the ideas from Hollow Knight. I've always encouraged people to play the first Ori, then play Hollow Knight, and then play Ori and the Will of the Wisp, so it kind of functions as a trilogy. And again, just so you get to see it here, the closing of the trailer does say play it day one with Game Pass. So that is, the plan here for the release date. So that is what I think you're going to see. We're going to get a trailer in the Xbox showcase in June for Silksong, and I think we're looking at a release date that's going to land in the second half of this year. I don't know if it's going to be third quarter or fourth quarter, but that is going to be a big win for Xbox, right? They've still got Game Pass as one of their centerpieces of marketing, and to have one of the more anticipated games within their own marketing funnel and within their own marketing reach and being able to say, hey, you can play it day one on Game Pass. That's a big win for Game Pass subscribers. That's a big win for people who have been waiting for Silksong. Because of this theory and because of what I'm saying, I would not expect to see any more from Silksong between now and then, right? Anytime there's these indie showcases, anytime you see people using the Silksong thumbnail or the Silksong artwork to get people in the door, I just wouldn't take anything from that. If people say they have inside information, again, I don't think we have any reason to think that's going to happen. But if we start hearing whispers that Silksong is going to be at the Xbox showcase, I think you can take that to the bank. So for now, you can go on any platform you want. You can go to Steam, PlayStation, or Xbox, wishlist this game. I highly recommend playing the first game. If you're in a bit of a drought right now, you're sort of maybe waiting for Hellblade 2 to come out or something, and you're not really sure what you want to play, check out Hollow Knight. It's an amazing game. There's tons of content to do even once you're done. There's a lot of sort of post-game content, like end-game content, boss fights, and things to master. I was at my nephews, hanging out with my nephews once over the holiday, and he showed me all the stuff he had done, all of the things he was sort of playing in the game, and I was like, wow. I played through the game and beat it and really liked it, but I never went the distance with all that extra content. So I can highly recommend it as a fantastic Metroidvania. I false started with the first Hollow Knight a couple of times. You want to get that quill and you want to get that compass, and I think that's going to really, really change your experience. And I encouraged one of my cousins, I said, don't false start with this game. He had tried it a couple of times, and I said, just push through. He texted me a couple of weeks later, and he's like, dude, this game's amazing. I'm so glad you told me to try it one more time. He was loving it. So well worth it, well worth the wait. The art style's fantastic, and it seems like soon enough we're going to get a trailer and an announcement for the Hollow Knight Silksong release date from Xbox at the Xbox Showcase. I hope my theory is right. I hope this video was enjoyable for you. Make sure you hit subscribe and the bell button so I can see you in the next video. You can also click join, pick that $6 tier. You'll get into my extra content, and if not, subscribing works and the like button works as well, so that way you can see me in the next video.